we're going to figure out what kind of train wreck this is going to be.
Oh, this is Warhammered. Hello, everybody.
Really, that's what we get?
This is it? That was the top one?
Fucking mailed that shit right in.
Yeah.
I'm Jazz. That's Beer Jim.
You
That's
were
Big
not.
Jim.
That is
You are
not
not
Jazz.
Jazz.
Nice try.
No, I'm Caitlin.
That is a lie.
Jazz is sick today, so I am leading this. I don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll see.
Yeah, this shit show.
It's going to be a shit show. He has a lot of faith and trust in me, so.
Oh, wow.
We'll,
We married you, so I guess
Good
that's
for
something.
him.
so this is Warhammered, where we talk about gaming at a
Wave top level.
Nice.
top
You like
level.
that shit?
See, I listened to it enough. I know. I kind of know the intro.
You know the cues
I know the cues.
that you got to do. Yeah.
So how have you guys been?
Today's been a long day.
It's been a day.
Today has been a day for me.
Yeah?
Summers are hard for the like. It's hard to.
Get going, and then
Yeah,
when like
and
shit just feels like it's hitting all
It's like
at once. for
September.
me.
I think it's just going to be much better.
You think so?
I just think for the show, for everything.
Yeah.
It's summertime. Everybody's on pause.
Yeah. It's like everyone's kind of chasing their own
Fucking
tails, trying
mailing
to
it
figure
in.
it out. Yeah.
It's also been 100 and fuck outside.
And
It's been terrible.
it's
like
gonna be
record highs
awful.
for more than 30 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know who's doing the Texas weather system, but you can stop with the excessive heat warnings. We know it's excessive.
Yeah,
There's
hot.
a
exactly.
storm somewhere, but I don't know if it's going to hit this far.
Yeah.
It's
I always
not.
love it when the what is it? This power company starts bringing up my thermostat at my house like without me telling it to.
Yeah, like no.
It's just like whoa.
You should set it
I
at
gotta-
78 when you're home.
I'll just pay.
Yeah,
I'll just
it's like,
pay.
I'll pay.
be
I
fine.
got it. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
good.
melting. Jesus.
Yeah. This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my bill today.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I was been around like $600. It's fucking stupid.
Mine's less than that, I will say, but it's really high.
Yeah.
We keep our house cold. Like, yeah, like the dogs are like very happy.
Good.
they're
As long as the dogs
Well,
are
the
happy.
dog-
That's
they
all
get-
that matters.
They have their own AC. In the
Well, they
garage.
have. You guys have like what 6 giant breed dogs that are
4.
extremely full of
But
hair.
We got 4 extremely large, furry
Nice.
things,
Yeah.
and they hate the heat. They're all like,
Yeah, well, everyone hates the heat. Yeah, it's terrible.
all ours are built for snow.
Yeah,
Colder
right.
climates.
Yeah, colder climates.
Yeah, I'm not made for this bullshit.
No.
that's
Every
going
time
on
I
right now.
take Freya outside to go to the bathroom, I'm like, all right, go outside, go play. And it's like 10 a.m., so it's like, 95 degrees outside?
Yeah.
2 minutes later, she's like scratching at the door. And I'm like, you didn't even go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
Titan's like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I'm done.
Just done.
It's hot. It's just I don't do well in the heat at all. Like when I lived up in Scandinavia, I was like, holy shit, this is like where I'm supposed to be. This is it. Yeah, this is nice. It's
This
like
is
I
too
was
hot. Like 95 and like when you're on the beach, sure. But
Yeah.
this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is just you can't do anything.
No.
No.
But you know what we can do?
What? Oh, no, not that one. There it is.
It's
We
really not Jim's bear corner. It's Jim's booze corner.
Yeah. Well, it's everyone's booze corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to get the sultry, sexy talk from the big ginger bearded man, Beer Jim himself, or Beer Jim's Scotch Corner today.
Yeah. Scotch closet.
I didn't get to hear my thing.
What? It's coming. Hold on.
Thanks, man. Fucking,
He's got to wait for the music to
Yeah,
stop.
I can't step all over the music.
What do we got today, buddy?
Well, I decided that we've done a couple different stuff. We did American bourbon. We've done a lot of beer. We have yet to do wine.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
We
one.
need to
that'll be
figure out a
interesting.
day.
Yeah,
to do
and then
one.
we are going to do Highland, the Macallan 12-year-old sherry oak cask Highland single malt Scotch whiskey.
So, I mean, Macallan, it's a Highland adjacent Scotch. So it's a Speyside Scotch, but it's probably the best whiskey in the world.
Yeah, I love
Bar
this whiskey.
none. Like if you're a Scotch guy, this is and it's very, of course, it's very easy to drink Macallan. Now, I know if you're a PD Highland Scotch, Death Scotch, I get it. Like,
Yeah,
and that's your thing.
Lefroy or whatever.
Yeah, if Lefroy or freaking Allback. If you like that stuff, more
Good
power
for
to you.
Yeah, God bless you.
Motor oil and death, not for me.
Yeah.
But for Scotch and really for whiskey at all, this is the single greatest. And they're the Macallan. They're like the best.
They're the best,
They're
yeah.
the best.
So I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys know. Well, you have to educate us in Scotch now because you brought it.
Well, I didn't. I was actually hoping that man over there was going to educate me in Scotch.
So is Scotch like the Scottish version of like what we call whiskey in America?
No, well, first of all, it's made with barley,
Oh,
so
okay.
not corn.
Okay.
It's made differently. So this is a single malt Scotch, which means that it's all one distillery. So they don't mix, and it's not. And so you had other stuff. So you had.
Yeah, I also brought because I don't know whiskeys that well, but I brought Johnny
not a
Walker.
whiskey. It's
Yeah.
a Scotch.
Well, it's a Scotch whiskey, right?
But yeah, it's a blended Scotch whiskey. So
those
so they blend
Fuck
different to kind of get a smoother kind of taste. So what you, like a lowland Scotch are generally easier to drink. They're not as rough. These guys, they're Highland adjacent, but really. It's not. I mean, it's considered a Highland Scotch, sort of, kind of. No, there's going to be experts who are going to be like blah blah blah. Macallan's
Because Scotch is like one of those things where like people like deep dive into this shit.
They love
that
that shit.
is like.
I don't
that
know
is
how
their
many
jam.
people. I mean, millions of people love Scotch and they're into it, and then there's people who are douchebags about it.
Right,
It's
that's what I meant. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a high level of douchebaggery, and this comes from a guy who's in the beer industry.
There's a douchebaggery in
fucking
any
smooth
industry,
is
though.
this?
I know it's so good.
It's actually very smooth. So I've never had Scotch, and I was thinking it was going to be like fire in your mouth, like a lot of cheaper whiskeys are.
No.
Not saying that Macallan is cheap, but I was expecting more of like an alcohol.
No, it's like a $90
fire.
bottle, $80-$90 for that, and then
Oh,
the
no, I think
20,
it was less
the
than
20
that.
is
It's about $60.
20 is
Yeah.
200-ish.
Yeah, 20 is two. They do 15, 18, 25. I believe. I think that's their tree.
But it's very smooth.
Yeah.
And like it's easy drinking. I can see you sipping this on a
Now,
hot day.
if we were going to do a true Highland,
Experience Lefroy.
yeah,
Well, I've heard it tastes like licking firewood when
it's
after
like
it's
fucking-
burned.
It is, yeah.
It's like I said, it's motor oil and death.
Yeah, it's really there's some that
hard
are
to
really
get
really
down.
really good. Like I think Macallan's good because it has a little bit of peat smokiness to it, but it
Just
doesn't-
enough.
just
Well,
enough
just
to
enough,
be
but
like,
it's-
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But then like when you do those scotches, it's just like, well, welcome to the smoke.
And it's funny because when you start with this one, you immediately like, oh shit, and then it just doesn't.
I
There's
get like
nothing.
chestnuts,
Yeah,
like roasted chestnut flavor.
you're definitely going to get a lot of earthy things
Yeah.
out of it, more so than you're going to get like caramels and those kind of things. That's a bourbon thing. This is a different kind of thing. I love Macallan.
So what's
Yeah, I always love it
Jim?
too.
Since you're our Scotch resident expert, how is the process different than like American whiskey?
That's a good question, and off the top of the head, I don't know. So
Do they age it in barrels? Though?
Yes,
I'm
they do.
assuming
So
'cause
I
of the
know
color.
I know
Yes.
there's a couple things. One is that you use peated smoked malt
malts,
with it.
yeah.
So
Okay.
that's where they get a lot of the smoke flavor to it.
Yep.
And then they use a lot of
like beer malt, like malt you put in beer.
yeah.
Same thing.
It's barley. It's
a
peat
barley.
smoked
Barley.
Barley.
It's
Put the
barley
barley
instead
in.
of corn.
Yeah.
So it's not a
Okay.
it's not
Yeah,
a corn
they're using a
mash,
lot of
it's a
barley.
barley mash.
And then the other cool thing about Scotch whiskeys is that they can they want to have used barrels. They don't use.
Well, they use a lot of bourbon barrels.
They use bourbon
Bourbon
barrels because
barrels,
bourbon can only use the whiskey
Once,
once.
yeah.
Then there's a trade for the bourbon barrels to be sent over to Scotland.
That's why you can't get bourbon barrels a lot of times, or you can't get them plentifully. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just hard to get because all that stuff just goes to.
Yeah.
to Scotland. And then there's because then Scottish people, the Scots use it for their whiskeys,
And there's only
and then
about,
they can reuse
yeah,
them.
There's only about I don't know 30 or 40 Scotch distilleries still kind of going, but of those, there's only like 4 independents left that are just whoever they are. Whether it's the Japanese, like Suntory or whoever, and
Yeah.
Diageo owns the rest. Like they're owned by whoever. I think Diageo owns these guys.
Really?
Or I think that's who. But they're not by themselves. And there's a couple of little guys that are still holding on. Other than that, they're all owned. So, but these guys are old. They're not the oldest. I actually do have the oldest. I can't remember the hell that off the top of my head again.
So what are some of the Scotch distilleries that we should be looking for? There's Macallan.
Yeah.
There's Lafroig.
Lafroig.
Yeah, Lafroig.
Arbeck.
Arbeck.
Yeah.
Olay or
Ely? No, that's a type.
No,
that's an area.
what is the other one? It starts with an O. Oban.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
What'd you call me?
Oban.
Again, like, that's why you get this wave top kind of like. I wasn't prepared. I would have been
Just
much
good.
much better prepared for.
Sorry,
for a
I
Scotch class.
should have.
Yeah.
I should have.
There's a really good Netflix documentary on Scotch. Well, the guy's an actor. You'd recognize him.
fucking nailing this.
And
We're doing such a
Fucking
good
nailing
job.
this.
again, but watch. He is obscure, but he's been in a few things. But they do a really good job.
Star Trek guy?
No, he's not a Star Trek guy.
What's the original Star Trek guy?
Shatner.
Shatner.
McCoy?
Shatner.
Are
William
you
Shatner.
talking about fucking?
William Shatner is like
Bill
in
Shat-
every
Bill Shatner's-
documentary right
Oh,
now.
Bill Shatner.
I fucking tied the Shat shoes when I was doing security.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get down that rabbit hole.
You wait. You tied Will Shat
The Shat.
his
He'd
shoes?
blown his fucking ankle out or some shit. Yeah,
and you had to tie his shoes.
yeah.
Wow.
That's a
You've
rich
tied
thing.
William Shatner's shoes?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Learn something new every day about your
Yeah.
friends.
Right.
But isn't there a difference between like Northern Scotch and like
Yeah, the Highland Scotch and
Highland
like
Scotch.
Lowland Scotch. So the Lowland Scotch is much more approachable.
yeah?
you can
This
kinda-
would be a lowland Scotch.
Nah, it's Bayside, so it's a river side, so it's like Highland adjacent. But it's so goddamn smooth.
So what's more
I
of
love it
like
too.
the Freud peaty smoky? Is that
Ardbeg.
from the Highland?
Yeah, Ardbeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the island.
All those crazy fuckers.
Yeah, and as far as you go, like some of them are on island. It's just miserable, man. I don't know. People love that shit, and God bless them.
I have
Yeah.
a family friend. She's a nun, and she like drinks like Highland Scotch, like it's like freaking water.
Yeah,
Just like peated smoked malt. She just slams
People love
them.
it,
She's like,
man.
oh my god.
the peatier and the death, just like that taste, the better. People love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. I just
God bless you.
I think I actually like this more than whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
Like-
Or are you gonna be one of those classy dames that drinks scotch? Scotch
First
on
of
the
all,
rocks.
I drink whiskey sours at my house because it's one that's super easy to make. It's just sugar, lemon, and a
And
really good whiskey.
Don't put sour mix.
Don't put sour mix in this?
And the fucking Macallan.
Why
Don't-
not?
Don't do anything to the Macallan
I think I'm going to.
except maybe ice. No, don't do that.
Don't send pictures.
And don't send pictures.
I don't know. I'm curious what it tastes like. I bet sour mix
Stop.
in the
Stop.
Macallan would be
Stop.
really good.
Don't disrespect it. Oh my God.
It'd get rid of that bitterness. There's a slight
William
bitterness
Wallace
to the
is
Macallan.
rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, there's like we're all about Warhammer, and in Warhammer don't have curiosity.
Yeah.
All right,
Stop
don't
asking
know.
questions.
You do it. You do what we say. We've done it for 10,000 years.
We've forgotten
This
how to
is the
do it.
rules.
We just go off our little checklist.
Yeah,
Call it the Scottish sour. Just
Oh my
you could do something like that, and then we would.
I could.
Yeah, it's America. You can do everything.
Oh, God
I'm
knows.
actually curious now.
And with that, we must call it close to Jim's Booze Corner.
Yeah, booze corner. So
This is
yeah,
good,
drink
thank you.
drink Macallan.
Yeah.
Scotch whiskey's fun. We know nothing about it, but we like to drink.
Absolutely nothing
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely
Good job.
nothing. Yeah, thank you. I tried. I brought something new.
Well, you brought something new, and I appreciate it. I was texting him earlier when he was indisposed, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to do a porter? I can't remember if we've done porters yet." And he's like, "I brought scotch, and there's a cup that has ice in it. We're good to go." And I was like, "Okay, cool,
Yeah,
let's go."
yeah. I was pooping my brains out.
I bet Jazz is
Yeah.
gonna be really upset that he missed today
I know. We're gonna never
because
gonna
this
do it
seems
again.
more like up his alley, but I actually really like.
yeah. No, I love it too.
I like this.
I want to do wine next.
I would love to do wine.
I want to do wine.
I would love to do.
Let's do some fucking like sugary sweet wines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do some port?
Port's
Oh
okay.
no, I hate port.
Yeah?
I do like
How do you hate port?
It's awful.
Port's great.
Anyway, did y'all see that Henry officially announced that
So
Warhammer is happening?
All right. So fill me in on all this. What is this?
Okay, so it's from Spiky Bits.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if anyone in the gaming world knows, Spiky Bits is like a game forum, but he knows like a lot of insider information.
Yeah.
Similar to like Valrek. And usually what he puts on his page is pretty fucking accurate.
Really?
And so he had the link to Henry's Twitter that announced that he is going to take full creative control over Warhammer for Amazon. He's going to star in it. He's going to be the EP, executive producer, and he's also going to create other like smaller content, which hopefully that means that we're going to get like a live action like television series.
We're probably getting a TV series out of this.
Yeah, you think TV
to begin the
because when I was
first-
reading
Yeah.
it, I kind of just like briefly looked over it.
Yeah.
It was like TV, or they kept on saying movie.
They'd probably do one movie, but you'd have to do it.
Or is it
depending
going to
on
be
the
like a
story.
Firefly movie? Like it's like, oh no, yeah, we did Firefly. Now it's Serenity.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
No, Warhammer would be best, I think, in long format.
Oh yeah.
TV.
Prestige
Yeah,
TV.
you've got to figure
Yeah.
out how to, and I think that's what Amazon wants is to basically figure out how to do it.
Well, they've tried it with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Fail.
Yeah.
Oh,
They tried it with.
first of all, that was enjoyable.
And well, that's still
I
going.
actually- I
You're
love
getting another.
Lord of
You're
the Rings.
getting multiple seasons of that fucker while you like
And
it.
Yeah,
I am a diehard Lord of the Rings. That is my fandom, my ride or die. I had Legolas and Pippin's pictures all over my room as a middle schooler when it came out. I know that makes you guys feel old, but
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am a Lord of the Rings diehard fan. Every year, me and Jazz do an extended edition marathon where we eat like a hobbit. So we do first breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast, lunchies.
Okay.
We do the whole thing. We eat all day. We watch the extended editions of Lord of the Rings. If we have
Purge-
time, we do
purge-
the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I, from
So
what?
you watch all of the Lord of the Rings like from beginning to end all in a row?
Yeah, we start like at 7 a.m.
Watch
then-
the Hobbit.
Have breakfast.
Do you watch The Hobbit?
If we have time, we watch the Hobbit. But we start with Lord of the Rings. So we start with Fellowship, and it's Two Towers, then Return of the King.
Well, yeah, I know what they are.
Yeah. I'm just woman-splaining to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Right.
come you don't start with The
That
Hobbit?
was.
Because we only have so many hours in a day.
The Hobbit sucks.
I mean, I guess we can start with The Hobbit,
bad.
but that's another trilogy to get through. But Hobbit wasn't bad. But from what Amazon was allowed to use, because the Tolkienian estate is very protective of their IP,
Yeah.
Okay, so this is why it sucked?
they were only allowed the footnotes and appendices.
Oh, for the TV show. So yeah,
the
there's
TV
things
show.
that they couldn't talk about that were like
Really?
Yes.
essential things. Like they could never mention like Silmarillion. They couldn't mention a lot of those things because they didn't have the rights to them.
No, they were
Oh.
allowed the footnotes
I didn't realize that.
and the appendices, and that was it.
That was it.
That was it. But they build a story off of that.
Way to like the Tolkien estate like kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Like it's either it's kind of like an all or nothing thing. Like hey,
Like
if you
you
want to
said, they're
do a
very
show-
protective and they
Because
were very.
they already had the Hobbit story told. They already have the Lord of the Rings story told. They didn't want a recreation of the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit for an
Okay.
Amazon TV series. So
Yeah,
they
that
were
makes
like,
sense.
if you want to do more of like the Silmarillion and do like the prequel story,
Yeah.
this is what you're allowed to use. And so they
even
built
though
a
you
story
may be just-
based
you
on
may be
that
getting
information.
A fucking another Hobbit and
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Anyway, just
But they
'cause.
also did Wheel of Time. I mean, like that's unforgivable.
Which is
What they
trash.
did.
So I've never read Wheel of Time, but as an entertainment value, I actually really enjoyed it.
Really.
I did. I did enjoy it.
Can't do it. We stopped.
Yeah.
I want to do it because it's out there and it's
Yeah.
on its second season. And
Like I've never read
They've never.
American Gods, but we're watching that right now on Showtime.
Okay, yeah.
And I've
that's
never
really
read
good.
that book. I know it's one singular book. I need
It's
to
good.
read it. It's on our library. But from an entertainment perspective for a TV series,
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it.
Really?
And I know that they didn't come back for season 4 because the reviews were like, this is shit, blah, blah, blah. But I really enjoy it. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
I
looking
liked.
for...
I liked American Gods.
Like, the book is never going to be the TV show or the movie.
Right.
Sorry, but it's the truth. Like, things are left out of every movie and every TV show that
Well,
was originally a book.
You can't do everything. I mean, like Game of Thrones, you couldn't do everything. God knows they couldn't do everything.
Yeah.
And then they had to, they deviated.
Well,
from
they
the
didn't
book.
know what was everything.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Game of Thrones. They didn't know. They were
They-
just like,
Had to figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna overtake you. Like this wasn't supposed to happen. We figured the books would be out.
Yeah.
I mean, that was part of the marketing too. Like the books are gonna, be companions to the show, and then all of a sudden he's just not writing. He's
just
fucking
like,
off. Like,
I don't know
what he was doing.
That was
So
I'm like, Brandon Sanderson wrote like, 6 books in quarantine? I'm like,
yeah. Just get it done.
you have a contract to write a fucking book.
Yeah.
Finish it.
Finish your fucking book. Anyway, Warhammer.
So Warhammer on Amazon
Okay.
with Henry Cavill. From the idea of, so Henry plays Custodes. We know
Right.
that.
Yes.
Because he's talked about that
Big
in
into it.
interviews.
I'm pretty sure
Where
he
do
probably
you
has
think-
several armies. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
He talks heavily about his Custodes, though.
well, yeah.
Where do you think, from a TV show perspective, if he is starring in it, that you think he's going to start with? Because there's so much content in the Warhammer world.
I think see that's we've talked about it on the show, and it's just daunting to.
It's too big.
You've got to.
It's so much. Like where?
I honestly think it would be really cool to just be like just jump in the world of just being like your main character is just a guardsman.
Yeah.
You could kind of do that,
and then just be like, he's a part of the hive.
You could do Gaunt's Ghosts.
But I'm like, you just throw him in. It's like you're not. It's a nobody because that's also the kind of the cool thing about Warhammer is that you can create as we're going to start a crusade pretty soon.
You can
create characters based on what you do.
Space Marine aspirant.
Yeah, Space Marine aspirant. Like start someone from the bottom.
You might do it. You might do it like that.
But then you have Ultramarines because they're going to make you do Ultramarines.
I would actually like a TV series from the way that the 30K is written, from the perspective of the storyteller people that record everything.
The remembrancers.
I wouldn't mind a TV series from the perspective of a remembrancer, but then you also get like in the background there's like Space Marines and stuff because you have to scale that armor correctly to the body or it's just going to look really weird.
Yeah, I think what they do with Space Marines is, I've always said is that it's something like you show very far away. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting that, man. Not now. Now with I think.
Do you think he's going to be like, we're going to do the Gilman story and I'm going to be Robot Girly Man?
I don't think so.
You
No.
don't think so?
That'd be shooting your shot. Like that's a little bit of a heat check.
I think it's
like
it's too much, man. I mean, I bet you they're all going around and around, and I think you've got voices in the room like Dan Abnett, like, hey, look,
do it, yeah.
We can start doing these things, and maybe we can.
Oh,
maybe
I hope
if we just
Dan Abnett's involved.
I think it has to be.
Has to be.
I think if they look at it like, look, we're going to tell the entire story if we want. But we could do it in multiple different projects. We could do a movie here, a TV show, an animated show.
Yeah.
We can do a bunch of shit that's all going to show all this shit that we can get the entire story out instead of just making it all kind of all over the place. It's going to be tough, man, because the Space Marines showing a Space Marine like
it's. I'm like they've done a really good job with the Primars. Primars are correctly scaled.
Yeah.
Compared to what the Firstborns were, which was like kind of like this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Little squatty boys.
Huge shoulder pads, like they calm down the shoulder pads. They've done all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But another one that I was thinking, I just kind of thought about that would be really, really good is doing that whole, everyone loves that fish out of water tale, right? What if it's just like a guy that's on their hive planet and all of a sudden gets scooped up into like an Inquisitor's retinue?
Yeah,
because there's hundreds of stories about that kind of stuff where it's just like some fucking guy is just all of a sudden now it's like
Eisenhorn. Is fucking Eisenhorn is probably that'd be the gateway, and maybe you do a semi original story with him,
Beckwin, and you get into Ravener.
But if you don't get into that, if you start
as
Ravener, or as either as Eisenhorn or you're part of his retinue,
like a young
Eisenhorn. It's him in the beginning.
Yeah,
so you're not getting everything like shotgun thrown at you.
Yeah.
Where
I just think like having like an unnamed, like a new Inquisitor, a new Inquisitor that you just kind of build up, maybe takes a couple of different things from
starring Chris Pratt.
No. But then that gives you an opportunity to try out a lot of different things. Like this Inquisitor can also be like, oh no, we have to go to this world and there's a bunch of fucking Imperial fists there. Like we're going against Chaos Space Marine, and we're just like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and if you kind of,
you can kind of bring in a lot of different stuff.
He plays the game and understands that Space Marines are supposed to be rare, and then he gets the size and scale of them. He also gets the size and scale of the universe. Yeah, so that's going to be one of those things, man. I don't know where they're going to go with this.
It's scary.
If this is how Amazon has decided that they're going to go. Because like Apple's got the MonsterVerse, so they're doing the Godzillas, and they're doing a Godzilla TV show, or they're doing a Monarch TV show. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have all that shit,
right?
And Amazon's got the Lord of the Rings stuff. Everybody's kind of getting their Netflix has got The Witcher. Like everybody's getting their universes kind of put together.
Figured out, yeah.
And I don't know who's doing the Dune, the Bene Gesserit. I don't know which
That's
one. Of the
HBO.
Is it an HBO? So
That's
it's a
HBO.
Max or whatever. Mm-hmm. So everybody's getting their worlds or their mythologies, so it's just a matter of kind of how much money they throw. I mean, Amazon's got the most, probably.
Yeah, Amazon has more money than
I'd probably say Apple has the most.
Yeah, Apple
compared to if you compare it to Amazon, but
I think Apple has put the most money towards their streaming service.
Yeah, Apple TV shows like
they're good.
Ted Lasso and all that, they're doing a great job with their streaming, but they are behind the curve. Mm-hmm. Like it's great stuff, but like everyone else has been doing it longer, so they have to kind of like prove themselves.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting though, because that trademark and copyright license was not cheap. for Amazon
Yeah.
to buy for
Yeah.
Warhammer.
Oh, I'm sure they soaked them for as much as they could.
Yeah.
Because this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to these guys.
Yeah, it's going to bring new people into the lore and new players into the game.
Yeah.
If they aren't already playing the video game, because we've had tons of customers come in there like, well, I play Warhammer online, but I heard that it's a tabletop game. And I'm like, it is a tabletop game.
It was a tabletop game long before it was the.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what it does with the gaming community on how many new people are going to come in.
They've got it. There's an atmosphere to Warhammer that the darkness. I don't know
Yes.
how.
It has to be.
grimdark.
It has to be just. And
But
everyone talks
it
shit about like the
absolutely-
grittiness, but it needs to be.
It's depressing. It's a depressing
It has to
world.
be just so depressing.
But it can't be so depressing that people won't
watch
it.
There has to be hope, and then there's always been hope.
You've got
in
you've got to
Warhammer,
have good characters, even if they do like
Yeah.
an Inquisitor. If he's a fucking son of a bitch, but everybody else around him, like there's guys that you like on his team,
Right.
There's some hope,
Right.
or whatever the mission is, has got some kind of hopeful thing.
hopeful,
to it,
like trying to get something done,
which is not necessarily how the 40K universe is. So I don't know how that's
no.
gonna work.
Not at all.
But because it is dark, man. Like
Yeah.
it's just not to cross genres, but if you just watch the last 4 or 5 episodes of Mayans, like if you guys are like that was the darkest goddamn show. There was nothing good came out of that show, and every character either shot somebody or killed somebody or died themselves at the end of that show.
Really?
it was just
the
blood-
motorcycle show, Mayans.
Yeah,
yeah.
So like somebody would die and then they'd have to kill his girlfriend because they killed the guy. Like what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
everybody
well,
was
like
dying.
Sopranos
yeah.
was like that. Remember, like
It kind of
everybody.
it was kind of at the end. It kind of was like that. Everybody you liked was kind of gone. You know,
was getting killed very quickly.
A few people kind of made it out alive, kind of thing. And they left it. I mean, it is probably the greatest TV show that the United States has ever produced.
What, Sopranos?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Close second is The Wire, though.
I was just gonna say the
Never
Wire is
seen
probably
either.
You son
Oh,
of a
what the
bitch.
Either
fuck.
of those, never seen.
Sopranos is literally the greatest TV show. It's like Sopranos,
Yeah.
The Wire, Breaking Bad are probably in there somewhere.
I would say it's Sopranos, The
Breaking
Wire,
Bad.
and then like far down the list is Breaking Bad.
I like
mean,
Breaking Bad.
I
I was
like
just
it
kinda
too,
throwing a bone
but
to this
it's
'cause
not
I like The
as
Shield
good
better,
as
actually,
those
than-
two.
Are you ready
Breaking
for
Bad.
this one?
No.
I've never seen The Godfather.
Have you seen Goodfellas?
No.
What the fuck?
But I have
I'm
seen-
texting Jazz.
I've seen.
What the fuck?
Fuck, what the
Casino?
actual?
Uh,
A Bronx
no.
Tale?
Fuck your,
no.
fuck your Lord of the Ring day.
What
No.
the fuck?
Yeah,
But
we're
I
gonna
have-
watch Godfather 1 and 2. We're gonna skip 3.
Do you know what my favorite 80s movie is?
What's your favorite 80s movie?
Running Man.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie, but
good
it's
movie.
not The Godfather.
Yeah, I've never
It's not
seen The Godfather.
You see Platoon?
No. But I can see the movie cover in
Tell
my
me
head.
you fucking seen Jaws.
I've seen Jaws, yeah.
Okay,
Who
great.
hasn't seen
All right.
Jaws? I've seen
well,
War
we were
Games.
really,
Well, I
really
don't
scared
know.
it was you. We thought you were the one. Like, there's one person left, and we found him.
Yeah, no.
All
I
right,
haven't
so we're
seen
going to
it.
be doing
The fucking,
like a moviecation, apparently.
You've never
Yeah.
seen the fucking Goodfellas? Never seen fucking Goodfellas.
I know my dad loved Goodfellas.
That doesn't
It's
count.
great.
And I remember like the movie cover, like the DVD cover in my head. But no, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, Godfather 1 and 2 so much better
I wish
than,
there was a whole bunch of movies that somebody'd be like, you've never seen.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh my God, this sounds great, but it's not like that. You have to get some really obscure bullshit that's in like Japanese for me to be like, okay. If I
Yeah,
haven't heard
yeah.
about it. You know how giddy I get when it's like an old like 60s war movie, especially like some like fucking Napoleonic thing that I haven't seen, which are getting rarer and rarer. I went crazy because my fucking boss in Iraq is like, yeah, there's this Australian war movie with the Australians in Vietnam. I took me 2 fucking days, but I found a fucking download where I could fucking download it and watch it. I'm like, this is fucking great. A movie I haven't seen.
Did you see the new Napoleon movies coming out?
I can't wait.
Yeah. I bet you're really excited about
it's
that.
fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna.
All
be
right, I got a
awesome.
question about the Henry Cavill Warhammer thing.
Yeah.
What is the number one thing you do not want to see? What would fucking kill it? Like we talked about,
I don't
like,
want to
what
see a
will.
lot of psycher shit.
Like what story? Like all of a sudden, like my number thing is like all of a sudden Henry Cavill casts himself as the Emperor. I'm just like,
No,
oh,
you're
we're
not going
out.
to see that.
He's
I think
not
that's-
gonna be the emperor.
That's too much.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the emperor.
And he's not the emperor. You know,
He will be a Primarch. I guarantee
he
it.
could be a Primarch.
Like
which is
if
a
like that
problem.
would be a huge problem. Like you can't play one of those big guys because they're larger than life. They're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be relatable.
But Henry Cavill's like
Yeah, but then he'd have to
7
like
foot tall.
So he's
not
going to be the
7
whole
feet
time. He's
tall.
not going to be funny and likable the entire fucking time because none of those guys, unless he's a bad guy.
Right.
Like you could be Fulgrim and probably be likable in a weird, sick fucking kind of way, but you can't be most of the other Primarchs like Pirata Mortarian or any of those guys are like fucking gloomy Gusses.
Right.
And there's plenty of Primarchs on the Allied side that are fucking gloomy fucking Gusses.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it weird that I want to see Danny McBride play Fulgrim?
Yeah, that's super weird. It's 100%.
I feel
That's
like
super,
he'd
super
be
weird.
really
No,
funny.
he's supposed to be good looking. Danny McBride is not good looking.
But he'd
Yeah.
be funny.
It's not supposed to be funny. There's nothing funny about Warhammer.
You know they're going to have a comedic relief somewhere because it is such
There's
a
only
depressing
one actor
world.
that can play fucking Jagged Eye Khan though, and that was the guy that played
Jackie Chan?
No, Kubla Khan and
fucking racist.
That's not racist.
he's in all the Marvel movies now, but he was Kubla Khan on the Netflix Marco Polo.
Oh yeah,
series.
yeah.
The Shang-Chi
He's-
guy?
No. He's Doctor Strange's little buddy.
He's the big Chinese guy. Yeah. So you never seen Marco Polo? Watch Marco Polo.
That was a
on
great
book.
Netflix.
That was good.
It was 2 seasons. Like
Yeah.
it was one of the first Netflix TV shows. So one of the guys is Kubla Khan. So it's Marco Polo.
Oh,
Yeah.
I call him Poe because he
Yeah.
reminds me of Kung
Yeah.
Fu Panda.
Yeah. That guy.
But that guy, when he's dressed up in his Kubla Khan, it's Jagged Eye Khan. It is absolutely fucking. He's got the furs. It's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
That's the guy you'd want for. Of course, then he's gonna have to run around and kill people, which he's not old, so I guess
Yeah,
he'd be.
but it's just like
not-
he could probably do like he could probably be like a chapter master or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
something like that. But
could be
it's
Jagged
just
Eye.
so.
Who do you think he's going to play, though?
I
'Cause
that's
he's
why
going
I
to be the main character.
If
Like,
they're gonna
what?
I
do
bet
something,
he's
if they're
gonna
gonna
be
do
an
the shows,
Inquisitor.
he could do. If Dan Abnett probably has his way, because I think he likes Gaunt. Like
I hope Dan Abnett's involved.
I think he
don't
likes
see
his
how they-
Gaunt
how he
character
is in-
more than
yeah.
he likes anything else. Like I think he loves that
Yeah.
genre of books. Like he loves writing that character.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see them push that on
Mm-hmm.
because you can bring the Space Marines in tangentially. You can do a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
and still have a military. That would be a very military show.
Yeah.
And then you could do some of the other stuff. I just want to see what their map, like their plan
It's
is.
either the two ways to go about the show to make it good is either you do an Inquisitor or you do a
like you said, military. Yeah.
or military like
Yeah,
soldier
yeah.
soldiery kind of thing. Like
'Cause
okay,
then
we're
with
part
the-
of we're Acadian regiment that's
You,
been
and you could do
Yeah.
everything. You
something.
do chaos stuff. You could do Tyranids. You
Yeah.
could do fucking orcs.
Yeah.
You know, doing all kinds of different things. And in the same way with the Inquisitor, you can go and see the full gamut of the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
and
those
tell
are those are the
stories,
two
yeah.
that are most relatable to
Yeah.
just the average viewer.
Yeah.
You know, where just people would be like, okay, yeah, I understand
I
this.
think you're
I
going to need a
have-
narrator of some sort. Like I think you're going to have a narration with somebody telling the
story.
Yeah, kind of like the guy that it's filling you in, kind of thing.
I don't know if you do because like if you kind of get the idea that it's future robots, that kind of stuff. I'm like people bought on real quick with Blade Runner,
But they're
and
not
there's
gonna-
not a huge difference between those
Blade
two.
Runner
kind of-
wasn't. It was 20-something years in the future, whereas like if you look at the Dune movie, the real
yeah.
first. I mean, you had to have
some weird shit.
she had to have Princess Erlen sort of narrating what the fuck was going on, and then depending on what version of the first movie, you had a guy explaining what was going on. Plus, you had a comic book that you got when you went in the movie theater. So you had these 3 things going on to try to explain what in the F was going on.
Yeah,
you're gonna
but
need
Dune
somebody.
is weird. Dune's weird.
Dune's fucking odd, but the Warhammer universe is crazy too because you're
Yeah.
like, well, they have spaceships, but they look like churches. Like, what in the F?
Yeah.
Why? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's 40,000 years in the future. I expect more. Well, no.
No.
They've forgotten how to make these.
I'm like the way you do it is like at the front of every book is that like little blurb that they do.
Yeah.
You know, you just show that like one
could
like
do a crawl.
do
Yeah.
a space
Yeah.
do a space or a Star Wars
crawl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're contracted for like a TV series, like the long format TV series that
Yeah.
everyone's doing now,
Mm-hmm.
you could have the first episode be the intro into what the Warhammer universe is.
I'm like
And then the second episode or the end of the first into the second is when you finally get what story are we getting?
I'm like, I think they could do a really cool stuff with like just like a follow of like a regular guy, like wakes up in this weird habitat and you're like, where are we? He walks out, you know, has to like, there's just like brain. There's people with like huge cybernetics walking by him. It's not a big deal to him. He's just walking to
Yeah.
go eat his food, you know.
I agree.
And
I
then
would
you
like
have like a massive church, you know, and
Yeah.
and you're just like, where the fuck are we? You
I
know?
would
could do
like
that-
them to bring to life characters we don't know, but they're there in the background because of posters or propaganda or
and then
something. I agree with you on that one.
It's like
Make
Gilliman
own
needs
character.
you.
Yeah.
Gilliman needs you.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do? 30K or 40K?
They can't do 30K.
They can't
Why?
do it because they don't have the rights right now.
Yeah, they don't have the rights. They only have 40K rights, which
could
I
do
think is the
Abaddon.
better way to do it.
That's fine.
Yeah, which is because again the problem is Primarchs are too heavily involved in 30K.
Correct.
They're too big, and
And
it's
yeah,
just like
and the biggest thing that was going on was the Civil War. So like,
yeah,
That's
what are you gonna
basically
do?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just worried that because we're coming so late into the year and they're saying, yes, officially we have 40K as a TV series. We have the new Space Marine game. That's the video game that's coming out in a couple months. And then we have the board game with Captain Titus. I really hope they don't do like a Space Marine TV show.
Yeah, I don't see how they do that.
I really hope they don't do it.
oh, I can see it, but
Where they take the story
Yeah.
from the game and the board game and it's like, this Captain Titus is against all these Tyranids. And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm out.
Tyr-
Tyranids would be
story.
easy though because you just build the fucking Tyranid models, like the fucking
bugs.
animation,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, you do
plank
it.
some dudes out. See, you could do if you did Space Marines, though, but you did it where it was a couple of Space Marines and a whole bunch of fucking infantry dudes.
Yeah,
You could kind of do it.
yeah, you could be able to do you. I'm like, and then that also falls in that whole military thing. Like, what if it's like one Space Marine and a bunch of like
going through basic training.
going no, just like getting absconded on a world. Just like, yeah, no, we're stuck in the warp for 60 years and we're out and we're just like, where the hell are we? You know, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of those things you could do. I don't know, man. I'm sure that they're if they don't have a plan already, they're mulling this shit over.
I
based on-
guarantee they have a pretty good
Yeah,
like
like
idea of what they're doing.
Well, I'm sure Games Workshop has an idea, Harry Cavill has an idea, and then the suits have an idea. And who's going to win is going to be the money guys. Like, well, we have all these things, and they're going to be like, ooh, look at the shiny. Like, no, we can't do that because it's, oh, no, we'll just throw money at it.
Yeah,
Like, no,
yeah, you can't just throw.
yes, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, hopefully, I mean, like, Henry Cavill has already proven his dedication to source material.
Yes.
You know,
Well, he cut The Witcher.
Well, I bet you.
Yeah.
I bet you.
like that was a payday. Like that was a payday.
That was. I'm sure it was hard for him to turn that down, but they were like, we're deviating from the story. And you know what? As somebody, I watched the last season, the third season that just came out.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time slogging through that one.
It was good. But I will say from there to where they're going to change it over to something completely different from the source material, I've never read The Witcher.
yeah,
So I don't know what happens. I commend Henry on a nerd a nerd level that's like, yes, stick to the source material. I appreciate that. But at the same time, that cliffhanger in season 3, I'm so mad about because I'm never going to know what happens unless I read the books. Which
Yeah.
means I gotta
I
learn how to
don't-
read.
yeah. You got to read now. Nobody wants to do that.
The cat in the hat. Fuck. Let's be a stripper.
But I love Cavill. I think he's doing a great job being the
Yeah.
king of the nerds.
Yeah, king of the nerds. He's a good king of the nerds.
Yeah.
Just don't have anything weird happen, Cavill.
He's
Don't.
trying not to.
Yeah, don't do anything weird. Don't do anything that going to get you in jail. You know, with an underage person or something.
He's British. British people are hardly in jail.
Hugh Grant has something else to say about that.
His brother's a Royal Marine.
Is he really? That's good.
I think he's still in regiment.
Really?
It's really random.
That's cool.
Anyway, did y'all hear
What?
I know.
that Ewan McGregor has been talking about that they're going to have a season 2 of Kenobi?
Really?
Yeah. They were only supposed to do season 1.
Interestingly enough, because now that I've mulled this thing,
You've mulled it over.
every time Disney gets themselves into a fucking bind,
Yeah.
they announce all these projects. They're like, we're going to do all of this. Look at the shiny object as our fucking stocks tank. And as
Yeah, and we can't
everything,
write
do
anything.
And we can't, we're going to do all of it. We're going to take back Skywalker. We're going to retcon the whole thing. It's going to be great. Don't worry, fans. Shiny, as we fuck you in the ass down here.
Yeah.
Or we can't do anything about it because there's a goddamn writer strike.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll believe it when I see it. We got Ahsoka. It looks good. We're going to get Thrawn. I guess that's good.
I'm excited for Thrawn,
Yeah.
though.
Thrawn. Who the fuck's Thrawn? I'm not a big Star Wars person.
So
you
they
gotta watch Rebels and the other one.
So,
is he the blue guy?
He's the blue guy. So,
Okay, I know he
when
is.
the
Admiral.
when
Admiral
when
Thrawn.
Timothy Zahn
Yes.
wrote when the new novels came out, like years.
You mean
like,
the Legends?
Legends, like the real novels? Yeah.
For the most part, I
Like
think
he
they
was the
retconned
main
most
bad
of them.
guy, but he wasn't an unlike. So he was the first time you got like an Imperial guy that A was competent
Yeah.
and B.
Just wasn't like
He wasn't not
mustache
likable.
twirlingly
Yeah, he
evil.
wasn't like we're gonna freaking commit genocide. He was like, I'm doing this kind of for my planet and kind of because this is my job and I kind of because I'm fucking smarter than all these idiots.
Yeah, and I could do it.
Yeah, and I can kind of do it. So yeah.
I was thinking of like Dr.
have to-
Eggman. It was like,
Yeah.
"Sonic,
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna get your
he was kind
animals."
of a like you're kind of rooting for Thrawn at the same time.
You're
So,
hoping that he doesn't.
Yeah, like you're like, well, okay, he's fighting Luke and them. So, but like he was a real competent like bad guy,
Right.
and he
okay.
was well written dude. So hopefully this guy is.
It's almost like they tried to do that with in the Mandalorian with what's his face.
Yeah, but this guy was a bad guy. Like he was really kind of a bad fucking dude.
Yeah, yeah,
and he's
yeah.
also kind of.
Are you talking about Cad Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
It was like Admiral Thrawn Light.
no, he was like just like an outlaw.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're talking about
Cad Bane.
no,
No,
Blue
not
guy.
Cad Bane.
not Cad Bane. He was not the bounty hunter. We're talking about
Guns.
The
Captain,
the guy in charge. The one.
Giancarlo Esposito's character.
Yeah. The Los Dos Hermanos.
yeah.
Yeah, the
yes.
chicken guy.
the chicken guy.
The chicken guy.
The chicken brother.
Los
Yeah.
Pollos Hermanos.
yeah,
guy.
Los Dos Hermanos. I don't know.
We talked about Breaking Bad earlier.
Yeah, just
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of tried to make him be like this kind of
But
competent bad guy, but then it kind of
he
fell
was.
But he is.
He's more of a bad guy than Thrawn is, really. He was
Oh,
more.
okay.
He was more like, hey, in it for what's in it for me kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Because he's still missing. They never found his body.
No, well, he's right. Like his body's gone because the ship was floating off in his. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He's
Yeah.
alive.
He
so-
escaped,
yeah, he
so-
escaped.
That's a bad guy that's on the loose.
So he's definitely more of a bad guy than Thrawn, or comes off more
bad guy.
evil as
Yeah.
opposed to like
I think
whatever.
Thrawn comes from the Rebels cartoon. Is that right?
Well, it's
No, Thrawn
it's
comes from books.
The books,
But
and then
They also had him
intro-
in the Rebels
and then he
TV
was in the
show.
Rebels TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When-
But he was Timothy Zahn's creation.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, so
I'm
that
like,
should
a
be
good.
good.
A good bad guy is just. it's
Yeah,
hard- it's
like
hard to
somebody
get.
who's like competent,
Solid
like you're like
guy.
fuck.
it's
At every
good,
turn, the
solid
guy's
bad
got an answer, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
And I always love like stories or movies where it's like there's one guy that's like 4 steps ahead.
yeah, he's
Mm-hmm. That's
definitely
Thrawn.
fucking 4 steps ahead, man.
That's
Yeah.
Thrawn.
yeah.
But also with the Neo Ahsoka series,
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen, it's been confirmed that he is playing Darth Vader.
Yeah, he's come back.
And I think from the most part that I've seen that Ahsoka series explores is the relationship between Padawan and Master,
Really
which I think we're probably going to get we're going to get heavy lightsaber scenes.
nice.
2, I think we're going to get a lightsaber scene between Darth Vader and Ahsoka.
Yeah. Wow.
Because we saw it in Kenobi. We
We
had
did.
Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader many a time.
Yeah.
I think we're also going to get that Padawan Master breakup relationship.
You
'Cause
don't
we
call
got
me
it.
anymore.
We got it in Rebels too. Wasn't it Rebels that she was like, "You're my master" or something, and she fights him in this like pyramid that's like,
oh yeah.
crumbling.
And
she's like, "You're not my
I love.
you're not my Anakin anymore."
Do you ever read the internet stuff about that?
No.
It's like how much of a diva Darth Vader is. It's like,
He's
all right, so
such a diva.
Darth Vader is on the prow of his spaceship, flying it by force inside a cave, but makes his cape wisp around.
Oh yeah.
Like there's wind. Like he has to do that all by the force just to look good. And people kind of wrote down. He's like, wait a minute.
Okay.
Like that's a really badass scene, but damn, that's a drama queen right there.
You're telling me that you wouldn't do that?
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Okay.
I would constantly do that.
I'd probably have
It's-
flames coming off the cape too.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Just light lightning.
It's
flames.
Yeah.
the same thing in Rogue One, where it's like, so he had to turn off all of his like his chest like respirator kind of stuff
Yeah.
to sneak in there, and then all of a sudden like started it at this one time so people could hear him, because you don't hear that motherfucker coming from a while away.
Right.
If
yeah.
Darth Vader is good at anything, it's dramatics.
Yeah, he is so dramatic. He's just the most dramatic
He's
man.
that
you get
theater
burnt to a
kid.
fucking crisp, you know. You kind of fucking.
Yeah, and then he lives on the planet he got burnt to.
know.
He made his own castle
It's
there.
a daily reminder of
yeah,
like, fucking.
what is?
I
she's-
thought
It's like,
that
all
was-
right,
she's
calm
act-
it down,
Yeah.
Vader.
I thought that was
That's
weird that
fucking-
he was still on Mustafar, and I'm like, wouldn't you want to be far
Far
away from there? You-
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
just-
be
you could
surrounded
go-
by like
burnt.
snow and fucking goddamn like water as much as I possibly can.
Like send me to
Exactly.
Hoth or something. Like
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
I'll go rape a wampa.
Yeah. Good times. So anything else? What do we got? No?
the Barbie movie was great.
Barbie was good?
Nope.
Barbie was great.
Nope. No, sir.
It was really fucking funny.
Nope.
And it
I haven't
wasn't
seen it yet.
in your face like feminism.
That's not. I'm just not interested in like the whole like just the farcical nature. Like that just shit doesn't appease.
It was
Really?
hilarious
shit.
though.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I haven't seen. I need to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. But I don't know if we're
So
gonna go to the
good.
movies. I think the next movie I'll see is Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trailer is so fucking good. And what I really hope is that they do a TV length series, hopefully on HBO, of like the Messiah and the Child of Dune and all the other
Well,
books.
you're getting the Bene Gesserit show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah,
this
whenever-
spurs off more Dune stuff because I like it.
Whenever I have to get hyped for like a baseball game, I watch the Sardaukon scene.
it's so fucking good. There's got to be way more
That's when I
Sardaukar.
just go,
Yeah.
just like, let's do this.
Such a good scene.
Let's do this.
Why there hasn't been? I guess there's been fan fiction, but there has never been like, and people. I mean, his son's been writing this shit too. Like, there's nothing on the Sardaukar. There's nothing.
Yeah.
They did a comic book where it was like 2 or 3 episodes, and the guy realizes he's a Sardaukar, but he's an officer, so you don't get like nothing in the background, nothing to like having a fucking fight on the fucking planet to fucking survive, and none of the shit that they fucking on Salsa.
Because okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. That planet is a penal world.
So it was a
Or is
penal,
it- or is it- it's classified as a penal
So
world?
Salsa Secundus
What?
is been nuked to hell.
Wait,
So now they've got to survive on this
it's
fucking
penal.
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 Sorry.
That's what did it.
Really?
It did it.
You're like a child.
You're like a child. Penal.
Yeah, so
Well, I'm
so
the baby
right.
in the room
so
right
you
now.
basically
I know.
you commit a
Sure.
crime or initially I think that's the thing too. I think it was like initially a penal colony. Now it's just like gone like it's got a population of convicts and former convict. Like I don't
Yeah.
think they keep dumping people, but I don't know. They may still keep dumping everybody.
But
on
it's
this
also
planet.
it's like the emperor's
Yeah,
world.
yes,
Like
it's
that's
the-
like
it's-
his,
yeah, it's
and
the
no one
old
can
capital,
go there.
yeah,
and you can't go there, and it's just like all of a sudden just these,
Yeah, nobody knows. Like
what's
nobody
going on
It's
there.
not wildly known where the Sardaukar come from.
Yeah.
And by the time, and that was the other thing too. By the time of Dune, the Sardaukar, their power has sort of waned. They're not as good because things have gotten softer and easier. There hasn't been these massive wars. They haven't had to go to these planets and wipe people out and this kind
Yeah,
of, that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So the Sardaukar probably aren't as powerful as they once were, but still a major fighting force. But nobody's written just a book on like, hey, a little kid
Like,
lives
what
on-
happens
yeah,
in
and then
this
he
fucking
becomes
world.
a Sardaukar,
Yeah.
friggin' because it's fucking
'Cause that would be
cool.
fucking cool.
They're like, I mean, in
I'm like, in that-
the litany or the genre of science fiction, you've got stormtroopers, you've got whoever else, like
Yeah.
all these different bad guys. The Sardaukar are one of those bad guy organizations but there's just nothing else on them really other than the source material books. Like nobody's written.
And then like and
additional
the
stuff.
last Dune movie was like the last time somebody actually like
You got to see something.
You
that's
got to
not
see something
really,
that's not in a
yeah,
book.
No, that wasn't in a
No.
book. They kind of came up with that sort of mismatch of Viking and fucking
blood
Mongolian.
sacrifice and throat
Which-
singing. Yeah,
yeah, it's fucking.
it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
rain and all that kind of stuff. I'm like,
it does justice to the planet, like a sort of a post-nuclear bombed out fucking shithole world.
Yeah.
That's kind of where, and then these guys are hard as shit.
yeah.
Coming up and stuff like that. So
I'm like the Sardaukar and like, a lot of Space Marine chapters, a lot of hand in
yes,
hand to that.
That's kind of, you got to wonder. I
Where
mean,
did
that
they
stuff
get that
was,
kind of
that
idea?
stuff was out there
For a while. Yeah.
There's a lot.
I'm like, that would be a good show too. Is
Yeah.
just like an aspirant coming up, like a kid, like on a death
I
world.
think you could do that.
Like a kid on a death world,
Yep.
like doesn't have to be Fenris. It could be on any of them. That's all of a sudden like,
And you could start you could have a new chapter.
You could have
a
a new
second
chapter.
founding or something, whatever the hell.
yeah, or quadruple founding,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But yeah, just somebody coming in and being like, yeah, now you're an aspirant and like, you got to make it, bro.
Yeah.
Like it ain't gonna be easy. That could be a really fun
And that
little
could be a
mini
show.
We could do the story of Cathonia and Cathonia's fall.
Yeah, they
The
could.
gangs and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Yeah,
Just Necromunda. I'm just a big fan.
just a big fan of Necromunda.
Big fan.
I think you could have that. That could be a show in a couple of years. Like you could do that thing once the world is established.
Yeah, once they know what it is.
Yeah.
Once
So-
there's some stuff.
I really hope this is a long-term thing.
The first one needs to be good.
It needs to knock everyone out.
It not only needs to, but it has to do the fan service for everybody. It also has to appeal to everybody else.
Yep.
So it's got to be good. Like that's
But it
why
can't talk down to them. Like that's the biggest problem with stuff that when new stuff comes out like this, it's like you always feel like it's talking down to people, and they just distill it down to the easiest bits.
Yeah,
And
give us a chance. Like let the audience fucking
work at it.
Yeah,
Chew
just
on
like
it.
Hey, you can go look up some of the stuff that they mentioned, or just get a little bit here and there. You don't have to know They don't have to explain every goddamn thing to everybody, and just let people kind of get it, but make it entertaining. Make the things that are open to everybody. Make that shit good. Have good actors.
Yeah,
it's going to be heavily populated by Brits because that's what it's going to be. And
well, have you listened to the books?
Yeah, they all have a British accent.
They got a British accent.
Governor. Governor.
So my buddy, I play Call of Duty, but he's British, Mikey, and we're running around, and these dudes, we're with these guys, and they're like, dude, I just want to hear you say tea and crumpets. So Mikey, no, Mikey, do it in like every single type of accent. So he went through the whole fucking like every different type of British accent. Like he does like this Welsh accent that I'm dying because the Welsh is just
It's
such a
so weird.
So
it's
weird.
this. He does the Welsh accent. And I cringe laugh because it's so fucking spot on, like how the Welsh talk, and it's much different than it's like the Welsh accent's so much fucking different.
Yeah, and it's considering the country is like the size of Rhode Island or some shit like that. How many goddamn accents do you need?
Welsh itself is like.
Yeah, like 3 towns on a road.
And but the Welsh accent, there's a Welsh accent, then there's Welsh.
Yeah.
Welsh is like, it's not Gaelic, it's fucking Welsh. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get a breadth of accents, though. I think we're going to get Gaelic, like Irish, Gaelic. We're going to get Scottish.
Well,
we're
going to get all those
British.
You're going to get all those actors, and you're going to get a bunch of guys that were on Game of Thrones.
Yep.
You're going to get guys because there's only. It's like you watch a mafia movie. There's 10 fucking Italians that act, and they're all in the same fucking movie. So you get
it's 100% true. It's like we know who they are.
Watch,
like they are
watch
on the
British
same...
gangster movies.
Yep.
I swear to God, you can do fucking 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever the fuck with the guys. You'll be like, well, it may not be the same guy, but I can tie that fucking guy to the fucking.
Yeah.
They're all the same goddamn dudes.
Who's the slimy motherfucker in 30/40K that like nobody likes?
There's a lot.
Like, who's like the guy?
Erebus?
No, the other one.
No, I fucking can't stand Erebus.
Yeah, everyone hates Erebus. What part? What?
But what?
I don't know. Like, I can't think of it. Is Machias a real name?
No.
Machias?
Oh, are
Machias
you
a
talking? Are you talking about the Horace's like second in command, the crooked or whatever?
Yeah, who's that one?
What's his name?
The fucking twisted Malagast.
Malagast.
Malagast the Twisted.
Yeah.
You know who I think if we had to choose a British actor who would play a really good version of him?
Tom Holland or Tom?
No, David Tennant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David Tennant would be good, but you won't believe him as a space marine. You got to put on a couple
As the
elves.
Twisted, you could.
Got to put on some elves.
But
Just gotta
I
get
don't
on
picture
big
Malagast
the Big Jim
as-
diet plan.
As a space marine, I picture him as like.
But he's
like
still
a
fucking big.
scoliosis
But
he's
Luther,
still a fucking
so
big
like
space marine.
Luther, like half jacked.
Yeah.
Still way bigger than fucking David Tennant.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The mountain's definitely going to be in it
I mean, 'cause
as a space marine.
I'm like,
you know what the fucked up thing is? You could probably have all of those fucking guys. You could have all of those dudes. Like, if Eddie Hall could absolutely be,
Yeah.
fucking.
yeah.
I mean, he's short, but
Could be a space marine.
He could be a space marine.
He could be a little Horus.
Talking all about like the Hobbit. I mean, like there's ways you can do camera tricks and stuff like that.
Of course you can do all that stuff.
Fucking ginormous.
But their heads, their faces have to be. And Tennant's face is slight.
yeah, they have to look huge.
I don't know. Maybe he'd be
Don't
good
take
as
off
a
if you're a space marine.
remembrancer.
Don't take off the helmet. Don't take off the helmet.
Yeah.
Don't take off the helmet.
Don't take off
at
the
all.
helmet. Keep helmets on.
See, those things you
Or
can do for a lot
scale
of guys.
the armor to the body of the actor.
Well, like they did with
Yeah.
with Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they did a pretty good job with the armor, and I think
Yeah.
if you went in that direction,
Yeah.
you don't want to do Starship Troopers
Yeah. That,
like where they're
carapace.
not running around in suits where they're supposed to be in fucking suits.
Yeah.
Like it can't be that.
No. You have to have like full armor going.
Full armor.
such a good movie, though. Starship Troopers.
It's a good movie.
Want to know more?
What? Yeah.
But you know who was
Oh,
right?
okay. Never mind.
You know, we always know who's fucking right.
Who was it?
Russ.
Russ is always right.
Horace
Russ would
is always
say-
right.
Yeah.
Russ would say
He was right.
that he was right.
And that's Warhammered, everybody. Follow us on the social medias.
Pop culture. Nice little pop culture episode.
Yeah.
we kind of retread some ground, but there was news.
Yeah.
There was some news out there, so we're kind of
We drank whiskey and we talked nerd culture.
We're getting
I love
excited
it.
about the new Warhammer
It
stuff.
might be
that's
another
coming
year
out.
or
really
two
hope
before we actually see anything on the page, but on the fucking screen. But
Yeah.
God
Oh
damn it.
yeah. At least a year.
Because we're gonna keep dragging out the fucking horse heresy.
Yeah. At least a year. Like until something
No,
happens.
he's going to be done at the end of this year. Because I think, okay, maybe
It's just like
February.
Are we talking about
February.
Dan Abnett? Like the
Yes.
the thing? Oh yeah. No,
we're
it's
just
gonna
dragging
be,
that shit out.
I'd probably
yeah.
say, because I
It's gonna
know.
be. There's 7 more books left.
I
He
bet
already
you
came out. He already
wishes.
came out and said he said that it's splitting into.
I
a-
gotta
He's
split it
waiting
into
for the
7.
contract that's
Yeah.
like, you got 7 more books, man.
Yeah, hate to tell you. And you know what? You're gonna fucking buy it. So fuck you.
You know what?
I'm going to
now
read
that
it.
he's free, we can get back to fucking some more Gaunt material. We can get
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
fucking some more Eisenhorn. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's
my,
get this done.
You're
my
free.
next book I got to start is The Flight.
Flight of
But
the
the
Eisenstein.
Stein,
Flight
yeah.
of the Eisenstein, which I've heard is a really heavy
I
book.
finished Cypher.
Oh, I did
book.
too. I listened to it too. Did you like
and
it?
then it just ends.
Just ends.
Nothing happens.
Nothing
I'm like,
happens.
Nothing fucking happens. Could have happened. Could have fucking happened.
Yep.
But
But
had
you-
it been the
you
book, I
know-
would have thrown it across the room.
Dude, you realize that it was like when that was set, right? It was like right when Gilliman got awakened.
Ow.
That
So
was when
that's-
it was set.
Okay, I didn't.
So you got to find the
Yeah.
book that follows when Gilliman wakes up.
Yeah,
'Cause that's probably where the story
that was
continues.
100% right when Gilliman like gets to Terra and Korn starts attacking Terra.
I didn't
Like,
realize that
yeah,
that's when
yeah.
it was.
So it's even like well before the Lion wakes up.
100 that's 100 something
It's-
years before.
Yeah, it's even before the Crusade.
Right.
It's before Primaris. It's before any of that shit.
Okay.
It's a good
Like-
book, though.
So what's supposed to follow that? Like what's
So Gilliman wakes up.
Yeah.
He fights Mortarion in Ultramar.
Yeah.
Then he like says like, all right, I gotta go talk to Dad.
Yeah.
Gets possessed.
No, he doesn't. That's not yet.
Oh,
that's
that's not
later
yet.
on.
Okay.
Yeah. So he fights in Ultramar. He gets I gotta go talk to Dad.
Yeah.
So then he fucks off to Terra, and then when he gets to Terra, Korn is just like, well, you know, all these other guys are doing some cool shit. More like, you know, Nurdle's doing some cool shit. I want to do some cool shit, and he like just decides to attack Terra at the exact same time. And so then there's this huge like Korn battles all over the place.
So that's why they were kind of distracted.
Yeah, yeah. And then Gilliman comes out and just like starts wrecking, talks to his dad for like a day and a half, and then comes out with the what? You like
Talk to a day and a half.
Talk for like
Let's
a day
do
and a-
some
Well, it
action.
just
Yeah,
proved that
let's
Cypher's
just-
a fucking badass because
Yeah.
he walked through a Custodes and a fucking strike team of fucking
Yeah.
Dark Angels like they weren't fucking there.
nothing.
And 2 fucking SS-atorium fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
So then Gilliman comes back with the sword, starts fucking people up.
Yeah.
You know, Korn gets fucked off back to the warp, and then Gilliman's like, "Hey, Magos Cole, where's all my shit that I asked for? Oh, it's right over here. Cool, we're gonna start a crusade. Crusade goes on for 100 years, and then now we're back. The end. Warhammer.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it's that has been
That was like
Jim's
bonus. That was bonus content.
Yeah, that was Jim's Jim's Warhammer background. I went over like 10,000 years, right? I went like for 2,000 years right there in 5
Yeah,
minutes.
you did, buddy.
Thank you. All right.
All right, that's Warhammer. Follow us on all the
We'll
social
see
media
you next week, folks.
Next week.
Next week. Hit him with a gym.
Bye.